Well, hello there my dear friends, welcome back to the Scott Reed project. So January then, it's absolutely brass monkeys out there, and I'm thinking I could just do with a nice, rich, unctuous, there's a pretentious word, winter warming rib sticking dish. So we've had some rabbits in at the butcher's, proved immensely popular, just everybody wanted one. I don't know if you've had rabbit before or you know a lot about it, but it's high in protein, low in fat, and it's got more protein per pound than chicken, beef, lamb, pork and veal. It really is a superfood. Now, many things you can do with it, obviously pies, stews, ragouts. You can take it off the bone, make burgers, make kebabs, make sausages, whatever. But today I want to do a classic, a rabbit stew. So really simple, and it's a bit of a classic. You know, this is like the kind of dish that should be in everybody's culinary armory. So what I've got then is one bunny here. As you can see, I've broken it down. You want to keep it on the bone because it'll add flavour, keep it nice and tender, because rabbit, it's a bit like a supermodel, got no meat on it, so you want to cook it slowly, and anything you can do to help it along its way is a bonus. So what you can see then, I've got my rabbit and I've cut it into, what's we got there, 14 pieces. So basically that was the whole loin into 4. The shoulders that came off, I seamed these off, put them into 2, and this would have been a leg with the little shank attached. I've just taken the shank off and split those lovely legs in half. As you can see there, the little bone. So what else we got? We got some carrots, some onions, and again some fancy swede balls, because I'm sad. That's why. I've got too much time on my hands. Of course, got some flour, salt and pepper. We'll mix that together. Want to lightly dust our rabbit, and then what goes in every rabbit pie, rabbit stew, is some good fatty streaky bacon. This is home cured smoked. I've got a stock cube there, and I've got some cider in the fridge. So first things first, let's get that out of the way. Let's get that out of the way. I want to mix my seasoning into my flour. So I'm going to whack that in a bag. You could add a bit of mustard powder here if you wanted to. Just give it a good mix up, and we just chuck all our bits of rabbit in. Classic way of starting any stew or pie. You want to get colour on it, start caramelising those natural sugars in the meat, and of course it forms that lovely caramelised crust, which all adds to the richness of the dish. That's how you build up all these flavours. It's like stacking them. There you go. It's that easy. It's a great trick to learn. So yeah, all covered in flour. It's just a case of going over to the stove and starting to brown these beauties off, and a little bit of oil. And like a lot of my videos, if you've seen them before, we're going to just do it in small batches. We don't want to take the heat out of the pan. We want to make sure we got enough heat to caramelize these beautiful bits of bunnykins. But yeah, over to the stove we go. Right, let's get some heat under this beauty. Now you can use any fat you like. Vegetable oil, rapeseed oil, dripping. I'm going to do it in a little bit of goose fat. Go on, my beauty. Simmering golden goose fat. Let's get our rabbit in. Like I said, small batches. We want to keep that heat on. We want it to start sizzling, caramelising as soon as it hits the pan. So I'll put one more in, and that's half of them in one go. Let's not forget me skanky fat bat. That's fat's away the fat. Got a handle, looks like a bat. It bats away the fat. You're welcome. Slowly, slowly, catchy, bunny. So as you can see then, let's have a look at that. How that flour has built up a lovely crust. Now that will fall off in the stew twofold, will add the flavour. Ooh. And also naturally thicken your sauce. So I'm just browning this other side, and once we brown the old rabbit, we'll take it out and put our bacon in. So I'm happy with that. Let's get that out. Next we're going to put in our bacon. This again will add another dimension to the stew because it will release its beautiful smoky oils. So when I say to you about building up layers like a pyramid of flavours, this is a great example. So that goose fat has already had the rabbit in, all those lovely caramelised bits are caught on the bottom. We add in our bacon, which will release its beautiful smoky porky oil. We'll take that out and then we'll put our veg in as well. It's like a triple whammy. Look at that lovely bacon. Now you can take this as far as you want. I'm just going to take it a little bit further, but as you can see, being good quality dry cured, this is pure porcine gold, which we're going to be frying, well not frying, sautéing our lovely seasonal veg in. But yeah, I'm happy with that. I like to retain a little bit of bite to it and not just have like rock hard bits of bacon. Bacon is a very traditional accompaniment to rabbit, as I said, super lean, so you need something just to help it along. Next, in with our veg. Now again, I want to turn the heat down here, and we just want to begin again to caramelise the natural sugars and soften them. I mean, at the end of the day, you could put just your meat, your bacon, your veg as it is in a pot, top it up with stock, leave it for a couple of hours, and you will have a stew. But by doing it this way and going through these simple steps, it only takes another 20-30 minutes. You'll have a more richer depth of flavour and colour, which I think old Bunny deserves. So yeah, just let them gently soften. They are looking perfect. So right, at this stage we've got several options. We can just put our stock in here, put our meat back in and just let it do its thing, very classic. Or we could add some cider and some mustard to this, put our meat in and then do it that way. Or I'm going to go very French and I'm going to put clove of garlic in, and obviously just want to cook that out for a minute, we don't want to burn it. It smells absolutely wonderful. And then about 250 ml of red wine. Just let that come up to the boil. So yeah, you can just use stock, or you can use half cider, half stock, or like I'm using a bit of red wine, garlic. We've gone down the French route with the wine and the stock. How wonderful does that look? Just simple. Onions, carrots, sweet and garlic. So into that we re-enter the rabbit and the bacon. And then we'll top this up with a good chicken stock. So I'm going to put my water in just until it's just slightly above the meat. And I'm going to use these because Marco Pierre White says they're amazing. And he is God. Well, not quite. And we'll let the whole thing come up to a gentle boil, then we'll turn it down and then we'll simmer. And that's the important bit, the simmering. So as we're doing almost a French version, I'm going to be using a bit of herb de Provence, but you could use just a bit of thyme, rosemary, marjoram, sage, whatever you fancy. We're going to get some of that in, and then of course every stew needs a couple of bay leaves. Let's get them in. Okay, what we need to do then is turn that right down, and we just want it bubbling away. Now the reason we do it so slow and low is when you're braising any meat, if you hit it with a hard heat, as you know, the meat contracts and gets tough, and that's exactly what happens with braising or stewing. So really just a few bubbles hitting the surface, and the longer you leave this, the better. And of course, with it being rabbit, no fat, we want it to just gently pull away from the meat. So it's a case of putting the lid on and then just leave it for at least 2 hours. You'll be able to pick a piece out and see if it pulls off the bone easily. Another good way is you could put this in the oven now at about 120 degrees C. I'll check out what the conversions are and put them up here somewhere. But yeah, it's just time, man. Take your dog for a walk, whip it to a pub, do whatever, but just let it do. It's dependable magic. Simple, isn't it? So I'm just making a brew, but I just want to show you what I mean about it just gently ticking away. And if you can notice how it's thickened slightly, the colours change. I mean, it just smells absolutely amazing. I wish we had smelly vision. But yeah, that's been 40 minutes. Smells absolutely divine. It's looking good. And that's got another hour and 20 minutes to go. It will just get thicker, more intense, more rich. Might hit it with a bit of Worcester sauce or a little bit of balsamic. Plenty of fresh parsley. Yeah. And get it in a bowl. But yeah. Loving that. Okay, you wonderful people, this is about 5 minutes away from being finished. Just look at that. Let's have a look at this meat. Oh, you can see there, just falling off the bone. Look, it pulls off the bone. Absolutely wonderful that is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and get some parsley and chuck a load of parsley in there. Now if you want to thicken this, the best thing to thicken this with is, believe it or not, gravy granules. Just a good tablespoon in there. Don't worry about your corn flour or your butter and your flour. A little bit of gravy granules never hurt anything. A great little hack. So yeah, look how that's looking. How wonderful does that look? Right, I want to do a few things to this quickly before we go any further. Take out those bay leaves. Just like that. I'm going to add in some butter just to enrich it and make the sauce nice and silky. This is literally falling off the bone. It's absolutely beautiful. Then always add a little bit of acid to your stews. You can use balsamic vinegar, lemon juice. Just cuts through it, lifts it. Get that in. Oh god, yeah, look at this. So I don't want to fettle it too much because I don't want it to all come off the bone. And then obviously the classic, finishing it with a load of fresh chopped parsley, and we can plate a bit up. Not looking too shabby if I say so myself. Right, let's get this into a bowl. Well, that doesn't look too shabby, if I say so myself. You have to excuse that dodgy piping. I'm a geezer. My sausage fingers do not allow me to do delicate things. But just look at this meat. Pulls off that loin. See what you think of that? And the sauce. Get some of that mash. I've got dogs around my feet. Now he's in the water bowl. He's thinking I want some of that. Clean my palate. I am not joking you. This is special. And how it comes off that bone is what we were after. Oh, come on. I'm just going to get in. Going to get a spoon in a minute. So good. So good. Come on. Okay, let's lift that up. This bloody thing. New Fandango tripod, play ball. There. It's at that stage where I just want to get that down my neck. Anywho, if you've enjoyed what you've seen here today on the SRP, please click subscribe when my face comes up down here. Also, share this on your social media. Check me out on my social media on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram at the Scott Reed Project. Share it, like it, subscribe, you know the drill. But until next time, oh my God, this is heavenly. Got more rabbit than Sainsbury's. Take care, my friends.